Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Lemon, and this is Friday. And today we will be teaching you how to create a custom form inside GroovePages. As you know, most of the websites, they need some type of communication between a customer and an actual business itself. So a form is a really good way to actually get some input from the customers, either to get some orders in there or just uh, queries on your services and products. But the form is always on your website, always available for somebody to fill it out, for somebody to actually get in contact with you, and then you receive this information either to your email address or to your CRM or whatever you are using in your business. But we can actually create custom forms. It's not only the pre-made blocks that we have in GroovePages, but we have also an option to design our own. And you can go pretty funky and create all kinds of different styles, which is pretty simple to do inside GroovePages. And I will be showing you some tips and tricks on how to do that. So in case this is interesting for you, please jump in the comments, say, "Hi, David, I'm here and I'm ready to learn." I would love to see who is on the call. As always, I just say hello to everybody. We will be doing a Q&A at the end of the session, so in case you will have any questions or any tips that you want to share, I will be reading those at the end of the live stream. This I plan to do just a short video for everybody that will be watching the replay, so that they can actually go back and reference it, so they don't have to go through hours and hours of video. I had a couple of comments in the Facebook group that my videos are a bit too long, so I do apologize for that. I try to give out as much details and basically to go and explain everything that there is, so there are no other questions. "Ooh, how can I do this? And you didn't mention this, and you didn't mention that." But I will be trying to stay on point and just to end the video as soon as the topic is covered. I have already a couple of people joining in. Eldon is on from New Zealand. Joel is saying, "The lemon legend." Thank you very much, Joel. Tony is here. "At least nice. This is important. Please, pop-ups and 3 name, email, phone." Okay, I will mention that, Tony. Tina Joiner, "Hi, David. I'm here and ready to learn." Awesome. Thank you very much, Tina. Sayad is here. "Hi, David Lemon." Awesome. Good to have you here, buddy. Linda is watching us. Hi, David. Happy Friday. Thank you very much, Linda. A morning, David Lemon. Eldon says, "Hi, David." From Ron, Tamara is here. "Thank you so much for all your training." No problem at all. I'm here to do trainings for you. I actually enjoy doing this because I also train myself on some certain things. Before I go and actually do the training, I most of the times try out everything, so there is no hiccups when I'm doing the live stream. So yes, I'm learning as I go as well. David, your training is excellent. Thank you very much. I don't think they're too long. Well, there is different opinions online, so yes. But thank you very much, Tamara. Marvin is here from Quezon City, Philippines. I'm not quite sure if this is pronounced Quezon or Quezon or how it is, but thank you very much, Marvin. It's good to have you here. Carrie Lee is watching us. "Hey, David." Thank you very much, Carrie Lee. It's good to have you here as well. So I don't want to make the intro too long, but I will jump in immediately and then explain what we are actually doing. So we are designing custom forms. Custom forms could be contact forms, application forms, checkout forms. On some of the platforms, you can actually design your own checkout form. At this point, inside GroovePages, we don't have the ability to do that yet, but I'm pretty sure if this is requested enough, we will have that option. However, today I will be just showing you how to create a simple contact forms which you can use immediately, the basics of styling it, like spacing and how to actually put them in a different layout. Also get it as good as possible to look on mobile phones, mobile devices, and smaller devices like tablets as well. And yes, I will not be going into deep customization. I will just point on the direction for you where you can go and which buttons are doing actually what when you're doing these custom forms. So I think this is enough of an intro. In case you have any questions in the meantime, please put in your questions in the comment box, and then I will be reading them at the end of this live stream. Just put a Q dash and then your question, so I know that this is actually a question for me. Sometimes people just answer each other's question in there, and it's kind of messy for me because I see everything that is posted. So in case you have a question, pop it in there. I will be getting to it at the end of the live stream. But I think we are ready, and we can go into our GroovePages dashboard, which is over here. So in case you are new on GroovePages, you just log into your GrooveFunnels account, which looks like this. So welcome to GrooveFunnels. And here in the left-hand sidebar, you have the apps over here. You just click on GroovePages, and then you just basically wait to be loaded in. So we will be working on a new site that I created. If you want, you can just create a new site or do it on an existing site. But I suggest when you are trying something new, don't make it on the live site. Make it on a new site or a new page on a site that is live, because you don't want to actually immediately do something that could maybe later on harm the live site. For example, if you style something and the whole site just goes like whoa, try out on a different page. So just create another page and then there test it out, create it, play with it, and then implement it on the real site itself. Yes, this is always a good to not deploy immediately the new knowledge that you try out on the live site, because it could get you in some trouble with correcting the mistakes later on. But yes, so let me just show you what people would normally do inside page builders. So they just take for example an empty block like that, and then in the elements tab they see, okay, here form, awesome, I want an input field, I want another one for example, first one would be for email, the second one would be for telephone and or name, email, and then maybe some text area over here. And then they connect the button and they're like, okay, I set up everything, and now what? How can I actually do something with it? It doesn't allow me to actually connect my integration. I cannot do anything with it on the button itself. There is nothing. I have my integration connected here, but it's not working. So there's something wrong. And this is a good thinking. However, there is one small thing missing, and this is what I wanted to mention today. So when you go out and actually start creating custom forms, you actually need to mention to the builder that now you are actually editing the form. And I will demonstrate what I mean by this. So I will just take an empty container as I did previously. And as you can see here, now we have a block. I have my block chosen. When I click over here, there is a container over here. So this is now the basic thing that we have on our inside the builder, inside the canvas. Now I want to create in the middle of this container, I want to create a form. So this form I will actually create by going to the elements, scrolling down where my form section is, okay? And then here I need to choose an empty form like that. Now we have an actual purple like box that we need to populate with something. And this, when you click on this purple box, you have an actually, it says form container, and we can also have the configuration, and this is where we choose the integration. So by knowing this, we know that when we design a form, first we need to have this form container, which will act as the managing container. So let's say I'm the manager, and this is my team, and I need to tell them what to do. So this is the purple container, what is doing for the input field, for the text area, for the bottom. This purple container is actually managing what is happening inside. You will be able to see that later on once I designed it. So now we have an empty form container, and we need to pull in some elements. For example, we can pull in an input label in case you just want to mention, okay, this will be the email. So label 4, actually label text here. So this will be my email. and then I pull in an input field. Okay. So now I pulled in my input field, and now you can see that the input field is in the form in the container that is inside the form container. So this is basically placing the input field inside the form container. As I said, the form container is the manager. This is the purple bordered container, which is serving as the managing element for the form. Now inside here I can put as many things as I want. I can put input fields again, I can put text areas, I can put a checkbox over here like that, and now actually I can name them. You can name it using this label, as I mentioned previously, using this one. You can just duplicate it, for example, and then label different parts of your form. For example, this will be my text area or message, like that, update. And I want to duplicate another one, or you can just pull another one in from the elements tab, and this will be for, I don't know, let's just leave it as phone. Okay, so you can name your fields using the label. So inside the form field you have input label. Okay, this is the label. You can just put this one and then name your fields, or you can also use this thing, and I use this most of the time. So you don't have to use the label itself. You can also put placeholder text. So when you click on the input field itself, you can write the text inside the input field. For example, full name, okay, like that, and it is not showing up above it like a label, but it is showing up inside. So with this knowledge, you know that there is two types of basically you can display the type of the form field, type of the input field, so you by typing inside the name of it or above with a label. So these are the two ways you can actually name your fields. In my opinion, this one looks much better because inside the field itself you have everything that you need to know. So it is not very clunky. You don't have a lot of elements around that you need to move and manage and things like this. So inside the field we already have what we need to do, and when somebody now comes to your site and starts filling out the placeholder text just disappears. So it is pretty cool that we can do that. But it is not only for this one. In case you do an application form, you can create that one. So email, phone, message, or you pull in another field which will be like short description of, for example, in case you're doing like a job application form, short description or your bio or something like this, and then you can actually pull in another text area which will be serving as the, let's just say, your bio, like it. You click on the label in the configure tab, label text, your short bio. Okay, so you can actually ask people to write full messages and biographies and short bios as well. In case you are expecting people to create or to input a lot of text, it would be good that you give them give them this information using sizing. So for example, in case you're expecting somebody to fill out their bio inside your form field, you would need to give them an indication that you are expecting them to do more or type in more text. So this, you can click on the, for example, this text area, and inside the sizing you can increase the height to be a bit bigger. This way, when somebody comes to your site and they see your short bio, that you are expecting a bit more text to be filled out than for the phone, than for the message, than for, I don't know, the name. So this is a very good indication you can use if you are expecting a lot of content. What else? Yes, so the sizing of these form fields sometimes can be a bit too big, but this can be managed easily using the form container. As you remember, the form container is a managing container. Now, if I want to set up this form, for example, everything that is filled out, send it to my MailChimp account. Integration, MailChimp, and then basically that is it. You choose your list, where it should go, or whoever fills out the form, where the details should go, and then that is it. You can also do a Zapier integration, like send all this information to my Gmail. I already created videos on this, so in case you're interested on learning how to do that, you can just search for Zapier integration in GroovePages. You will be able to see how I did that. But for now, I want to show you how to actually resize the whole container. So as you remember, we chose the form container, and using the sizing, when we leave it at relative to parent, we can just resize it this way, like that. And then we can make a small form, we can make a large form. It just depends on what you like. And then we also have another container, which is not the form container. Here we can actually manage where we want the content to be. In the middle of the screen, align it to the left hand side, align it to the right hand side, so we can actually manage it. And now we actually have a pretty nice form that we created. We can style this further. You can put in colors, different text colors. I will not be going into this now. It is pretty simple to do. In case you just want to change the background color of the form, it is possible. In case you want to change the color of the label, you just do that using the text element. I will just put it on this green so that this is recognizable, that this change. So for the styling, you can just see different forms that are online. For example, in case you just want to make the borders, or basically the corners, rounded, you can just click on the form field, borders, and then here in the corners you just round them. And now this one, you can see it is a bit more rounded. Let me just zoom in so you can see it. Here is rounded, this one is flat and pretty square. So yeah, you can do pretty amazing stuff. What I wanted to also mention is something cool that is not talked about a lot. So let me just explain what I mean by this. Let's say you want to create a form where you are asking for the name, on the first name on one of the sides, the last name on the next side. So basically you're asking two details in one row. Okay, so two form fields in one row. Then again telephone and an email, and then below that a text. So how would you create this? So now I pulled in just an empty container on my page. I can easily head into the elements and take the form, the empty form, because I want to create a form. Okay, so this will be my managing element, as I previously mentioned. So now I actually want to create two input fields, one on this side, one on that side. I will pull in the two column layout, and I will make sure that here at the bottom of the screen, just look here at the bottom of this menu. So I will choose this. Okay, my screen is a bit too big. So I need to position it inside the element. Okay, so now you can see there is my mouse is hovering on this borders, these dashed borders. So this is where I know that my two column layout is going inside the managing form container. Sorry. So now when I click on this container, this is a container that is on the layout 2x2, which is inside the form container. So now using this one, I can position multiple different elements. I can put here an input element, over here a text element, maybe a button below, and things like this. So inside the form container, you can still put in different containers and set it up, because the managing container is holding in all the information and will be managing the sending of your details once they are filled in by your customers or visitors. Okay, so with this knowledge, let's just go in there and then design something cool. So I want here an input field. This will be for the name. Okay, this will be for telephone, for example. And then over here, I want to pull in something more. So this will be for last name. This will be for an email. And then here below it, I can just pull in another column, which will be a 1-column layout. I need to just play with the positioning so that I make sure that the dashed border is visible. So now I can see that if I just drop it and click on it, this container is showing up inside the form container. So what happens if I don't place it inside the form container? Okay, so when I click it, now the container is not inside the form container. So even if I put now an input field on this one, and I want to actually have this, it will not be managed by that form container as it is here. You see? So the form container is the managing container. So this one is outside, so it will not be handled with the integration. Let's say you set up an integration here on this form container to all the fields. When filled out, they should go to Zapier, and Zapier will send it to your Gmail account. This form field, this one, and this one will be sent to Zapier, but this one will be not, because this is not inside the form field. Okay, so let me just delete this one and actually place it to the right position. So this is where we want to place the 1-column element. You have the best luck in case you just position it between the columns and then just pull it down. You see, when I try to pull it on this side, it places it in this container. When I go on this one, but if I drag it towards the middle between the two, this is where I can position it so it is actually coming below or above. Okay, so when I click on this container now, I can see that the form container is actually holding my 1-column container as well. So inside here, I can just pull in a text editor or text area, sorry, like that. And then when I click on this text area, I can see that this is in a container which is inside the form container. So this is actually cool. This is what I wanted. So now I can just paste these out. For example, this form field, I want to just make it a bit further down like that. This one as well, a bit further down like that. And now we can name it. So this will be, I will just put in placeholder text. As you know, you can name it using the labels as well, or placeholder text. I will just name it first name. I'll just copy this over, update. Last name, phone, email, or email, phone, whichever you want to use, and then here, message. And save. So now I want to actually make it a bit smaller. So I click on this form container that is the managing container, and I want to just push it towards inside so that it is not so wide, because it is almost wide as our screen. So I will click somewhere here in the middle. I will choose the form container, and now using the sizing, when we have it relative to the parent, we can just make it size, for example, 60% or 75% is looking good. Okay. Now I click on the container that is holding the form container. Okay, so this is a 1 container above, and then I position this vertically in the center, and now I have a beautiful container over here. The last thing we need is just a button, and then not the solid button over here, but inside the form we need to choose the submit button. The submit button is handling the sending of the information. So as you remember, we need to position it somewhere where the form container is, either here or here. So when I click on my button, I can see, okay, so I missed the form container, so it is not placed inside the form container. So I need to play with that positioning a bit. So the form submit is now inside the form container. So this will be actually sending the messages. So now I can just click over here, place it vertically in the center, and now I have an actual beautiful form which I created in just a couple of steps, and we can maybe resize the button, make it a bit bigger. I like to do this one, and maybe using the text, size it a bit bigger like that. And then basically that is it. So it is asking for the first name, last name, phone, email, message, and this is an actual custom form that you create, that you can create for your websites. You can put it in the middle of the screen. You can also save it and then recreate this one inside. Let me just show you. If you want like this, two different containers. So on here you will have some text explaining like the telephone number, your address, your email address, and things like this. And on here you want to have your form container. So you take the form container, you just pop it in here, and then you actually have it placed nicely. You can also go in there and then resize the form container that we pushed towards the middle to be a bit bigger like that. And now over here you can place some text like get in touch. Oh, if I could be typing, get in touch. And then you add on here your phone number, your address, your email address, and then on this side you still have a nice form that people can fill out and get in contact with you. Now if you want to have this integrated with something, you just need to come over here to form container. You set it up with different integration, for example Zapier. You just click update. You can also choose what happens after the people submit this form, and that is basically it. I will not be going into explaining on how you actually set it up. I want to just leave it as it is. And then if you want, you can also have a look on how it looks on mobile devices. Maybe you need to do some managing. Let's just have a look. It looks good. It looks a bit small, but we can also work with the sizing. For example, if you want to just make the text a bit smaller on different devices, then you just click inside the form field and manage it. You can also have a look how it looks on tablets and mobile phones. It is looking pretty cool. We just need to move away a bit this message, and I will just move it like that. And now it is looking pretty good on each of the devices. There we go. It is pretty simple. Was this easy, guys? Press number 5 if this was easy. So yeah, this is extremely simple. You can also use pre-made blocks. We have a lot of wireframe blocks for contact. For example, this one, or for example, something more complex like this one. So this is a pre-made block that we have inside the wireframe blocks. So when you click the blocks, wireframes, and then you have here then contacts. Okay, so this is where I pulled this one in. This is the same thing, basically name, email, message, and then as you can see here, there is the button. We created something of our own using this type of thing. And here we have something different, that everything was pushed inside the container, which has a like a gray background. The input fields are actually empty, and this is a label, as you can see. So this is a label, this one as well, these ones. So you can create a lot of different styles. Awesome. So I have a number 5 from Eldon, from Syed, from Carmen. It is very simple. So you need to just know 2 things. You create your forms using different elements, but everything needs to go in a form container. And this is in the elements, empty form. So this is the base in case you are trying to create a custom form or any kind of form, actually. Then you can name it. This is the second thing. You can name it using labels. You can name it using placeholder text. And then when you want to set it up, you need to actually click on the form container itself. Here, form container, and this is what you set up. Now, you don't have to do this for example, in case you're just doing a quick sign up page, for example, with MailChimp or something. we already have these forms created for you. In case you go to the Elements tab and you scroll down, in case you just want to use MailChimp very quickly, you just pull this MailChimp thing out, and then basically this is it. You already have a label, you already have an input field. It is already set up to be a MailChimp component. This is the form container for this MailChimp element. So this is a MailChimp component. You can configure it over here. In case you want to have Aweber connected, you just click on the Aweber one, you pull it out there, and you already have it done and pre-designed. So you don't have to actually create these kind of things for your Aweber, for your MailChimp. You can just quickly click on it, you pull it inside, edit it, like style it the way you want, different font colors, different background color, different input field background color, and that's it. Let's say I want to now create something quick for MailChimp. So if I'm a MailChimp user, I would just come over here very quickly, pull it out, and then click over here. Let's say I don't want only the email, I want also a full name and the telephone number. Okay, so I just duplicated the form field inside the whole container. I didn't do anything else. So the first thing that I will ask them is the name. Okay, so I come over here, I just type in full name, update. The next thing I want to ask them is their phone. Here we just need to delete this input name. Okay, and then over here we type in the placeholder text, and this will be full name. Okay, this will be email. This is pretty simply done. Now the last thing we need to do, so even though we have the placeholder text, which is the text that shows up inside the form fields, we need to actually manage it. So we need to set it up so that the integration actually knows what information is being sent. So in the input ID and input name, we need to set up different things. So full name, here full name, okay, like that. Here we can type in phone. Over here as well, phone. Update. Email will be just email, and then update. So this is the input ID, and the input name is the actual information we are sending to the Aweber, GetResponse, to other integrations that we have, so that they actually understand what kind of information we are sending over. You can do this with your custom form as well. So in case you're asking for a first name, you can type in most of different integrations have their own names for it, so you would need to figure out what they call it. So I know MailChimp calls first name F name, the last name is called L name, the phone is called phone, some other ones have TEL. So these are basically the names of the input ID names, or the input names, so that the integration actually understands what kind of information is being sent to them. But I'm a MailChimp user, and I know that MailChimp uses F name. This will be for the first name. Last name, it will be L name. Okay, L name. That. Phone, it will be just phone. Like that. Update. Email, we just type in lowercase letters email. That. And then the message is just staying message. Update, and we're actually done. So now we set up our form fields, we set up the button. It needs to be submit. Okay, there is an also reset option, but in case you want it to be sending something, then you need to actually set it up as submit. You can change the button text, for example, send now. This is just a test, just so that I show you. Send now, this is where we type in the button text, update, and then we're actually set up. Once we come over here to form container, we set up our integration, update, and now our form is fully functional and working. So if we set up an integration, the integration actually understands what information we're sending over. It will understand that this is the first name details are being sent over. This will be the last name details are sending over. This is the phone, this is the email, and this is the actual message that is being sent over. So your integration will understand it, and then it will categorize it. Okay, so this is the email, this is the phone, first name, and things like this, and then it will make sense for it. So that's it. You can do this quick, pull in the different integration if you want. You can create your custom ones. This is just however you would like it. Perfect. So this is it. Are there any questions? So I think I'm finished with what I wanted to show you guys, how to create an actual custom form. In case you're doing application forms, this is the same procedure in case you're doing it. You can size it differently. You can do some paddings and margins. So for example, in this form, in this container, I have two. So 1, 2 input fields. Okay. If I want to space them up, space them away from each other, I just use this margin. If I just pull this margin apart, now they are spaced out a lot. If I pull it closer, then they are basically closer together. This is how I space out things if they are in the top and bottom. So if you want to actually move them away from each other, if they are in layout 2x2, you can just click on in the middle of it, layout 2x2, and you can actually delete this spacing if you want. You can make it extra large, like here. You can just make it that it just completely disappears. I don't know why you would do that, but you can. You can put a small space in between, you can put medium space in between. This is just something that you can play with. If you don't want to do this with a gutter width, you still have the option to choose this container. So now only these two input fields are chosen, and then you can space them out using margins. Or actually, it is not even allowing you to do that. You can do it using the padding, but it is making your container smaller. You see? Like that. But yeah, so in case you have a layout 2x2, which is two containers next to each other, then you are actually playing with a gutter. And this is the spacing between the two containers. So this is now a bigger gutter, and this is a no gutter in between. Yeah, you just make sure that it looks good on each of the devices. Play with the spacing, play with the sizing of the fonts, play with the different button sizes on smaller devices. Could be that on desktop it looks good, but on mobile you may want to have it bigger. So click on that device only, and then click on the button itself. Make either the text bigger, like that. This way the button will be bigger, or just play with the different padding options like that on the side as well. See here, so you actually make the button more clickable. Remember, when you're designing for mobile, these forms, if they're too small, the people will miss it very quickly. If they have like big fingers, as people call it, potato fingers, you need to make the form fields to be clickable with the finger. Also the buttons, make it big, make it so that people cannot miss it. You don't want to actually make it harder for people when they're viewing your form on mobile. You want them to actually type in their details and be able to press that button. So make the forms big size on mobile devices so that they can actually type inside it, and then they can click on it easily. So that's about it about custom forms, guys. I hope you understood what I was trying to say, but in case you didn't, please, now is the Q&A time. So I will be going through the questions now, okay? Okay, perfect. We have a very nice group of people here. So Tony is asking why you erase the code HTML. So for example, if I have a lot of things going on my canvas, I could go into each one separately and delete it like that, and then again, or I can just come over here, click Control A, delete, save, and I'm starting from scratch. This is a shortcut, Tony, in case you just want to be able to work with an empty canvas immediately. Again, this is how I like to actually just clear the space out so I can start from scratch. Let's just put it back. Awesome. Good morning. I have a lot of questions. Do I have practically design a web page in the funnel? So you can either just use the templates that we have. There will be more templates coming soon. We will be actually designing the templates, and a lot of templates for people. You can design your own. We will also have the import feature where you will be able to just pull in your designs from other sites, or in case you like somebody else's design, you can just import it also into the builder, change over your colors, text, content, images, fonts, and you're basically good to go. So that you will not have to design everything, basically the whole page yourself. There will be different options on doing that, and once all these features are out, I will be, of course, doing videos on showing what the easiest ways are to actually do those things. Okay, Tony's asking for opt-in pages for lead generation too, please, and label verification for integration. So I think I mentioned both of these, lead generation too, please, and label verification. Yeah, so the label verification I didn't mention, but for example, here, this is a label, and then in here, you can actually add what the label is for. I'm not quite sure what this is doing. It looks to me that this is like a just heading text, but if this is the label, it is asking, please tell us what this label is connected to. So if I set this up to be the full name, it is asking for the input ID. So I can copy over this input ID, click on the label itself, okay, like that. And then it is asking the attribute value. Please preferably use ID or corresponding input element for this label as the for attribute. Okay, so a for attribute will be full name. So now I know that this is the label for the full name. I actually don't know what it is doing. It looks like this is just mentioning to the form container that is managing the integration that this is connected to the first input field. I'm not pretty sure what it actually does. It doesn't serve any purpose, but once you connect, you're good. Okay. What about if we want to give them the different option to choose from? How do you mean if you want to give them the different option? What different option? Abdul Rasak, if you could just explain this in a bit more detail, I would appreciate it. Are there any character limitation on text fields? I don't think so. So I'm not quite sure. You can test it out. It's just if you're asking if there are character limitations for a placeholder text or to actually fill out an input field from the user's perspective. Both would need to be tested. I didn't test it out, but I'm pretty sure that there is none at this point. Let me just try it out. Yeah, it just keeps going and going and going. So I don't think there is any limitations at this point, but it just takes a bit of testing. Let's try it over here. You see, it keeps going and going. But in case you're asking for the placeholder text, let's just test it out. Yeah, so it just depends on how wide your input form or input field is. It will not display everything because it will just cut off at some point. So in case you want to have everything displayed, you would need to just make the input field longer in case you are asking about the placeholder text. Good. Dun, dun, dun. You could seriously run a 24-hour live channel, David Lemon, and you would never run out of brilliant training or people to join your live value bomb every time. Thank you very much, Carmen. Well, this was something that people asked me. Actually, it was Dean who asked me a couple of days ago, David, did you finish your live Q&A? And I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. I think every day is a live Q&A with me. I'm just answering a lot of questions in the group as well and helping people privately, as you, Carmen, for example. So the live Q&A never stops with David Lemon. So, but I'm happy about this one, and then other users that I help are very happy as well. Okay, question: what is the post option from the form integration? Yes, so good question, Eric, very good. In case you come over here to the form container, you have the integration or post. The post is the actual webhook, so you can, in case you understand webhooks and you know how they work, this is where you put in the post URL. The post is for actually allowing the information inside this form to be processed and sent using webhook and not an integration through API. I'm not very familiar with these. I am still working on my understanding of webhooks and different code, but once I figure it out and once I know actually what and how to set it up, I will be doing training on that one. And I'm pretty sure this will be soon, because we will have a lot of different integrations, like if this then that type of automations that will be coming inside the Groove funnels as well. So I'm pretty sure knowing the knowledge from webhooks will help create awesome training for you guys, so that you can manage your own forms and basically business and pages using that knowledge. Can we have drop down and checkbox and multi-choice option for more detailed forms and smart forms? At this point, Jeremy, there is no drop downs or checkbox or multi-choice options. At this point, this is what we have over here. So you can have a checkbox, but checkbox is used for privacy policy and things like this. We will be updating this checkbox. We will be actually giving it a bit more customization options. At this point, you cannot just select the box itself and then make it bigger, make it smaller, make it different color. So we will be doing a bit more development on that part. But if you would like to see those kinds of elements like multi-choice and drop-down menus or drop-down options, I would suggest you to head over to feedback.groovefunnels.com, and I'm pretty sure this was requested. So let's just have a look. Feedback.groovefunnels.com. Here we go. Okay, so GroovePages features. Let's type in form builder. Okay, I want to. Okay, so this is actually available at this point. Yeah, so I don't want to now go through everything, but there will be probably different options that are requested. So just go through this one. Jeremy, you can have a look and upvote the ones that you like. The more upvotes it has, the sooner it will be implemented. Good. Case sensitive or no? So I think this was asked when I was typing in these configurations. So these are case sensitive. Some integrations have it big, like MailChimp, I think, has it the first name and the last name, it requires it to be capital letters, but some integrations, they don't care for the first name or first, like what Keisha said here, F name or F name small, same result for integration. Let me just quickly go into the MailChimp integration. Let me just log in here. I wasn't planning to go into MailChimp, but I will quickly show you on what I mean when I say you have to tell the form the information that it will be sending over. So let me just quickly log in here. Yeah, so as you can see today, I'm not at home. I was my wife had a birthday the other day, so I wanted to surprise her and bring her to wellness weekend, and this is our wellness weekend. My son and her, they are at this point at the pool. We have in Croatia, we have hotels that are actually running and they're not blocked due to this corona crisis. We have hotels, and it is awesome now because hotels are empty, the pools and the wellness, the spa facilities are empty, so it's just awesome. um, Come on, I don't want to now verify. It is not allowing me to log in. It needs to verify the information. Anyway, inside the MailChimp account, there is, in the audience and then settings, there is the merge fields. So these are the names that it actually says. These merge fields are the field names that you need to provide to MailChimp so that it knows what information is sending in. I was using also MooseEnd and MailerLite and these unknown email platforms because I didn't want to pay for them, and most of them have free options. So I was testing those out, and they have very similar type of things where they actually give you, so first name, this is the name you need to put into your forms. Last name, this is the name. For email, this is the name, and things like this. So you just need to find your integration, what names of these merge fields are, or what is the actual field name that they required, and this is how you can set it up. This is so what is the purpose of hover active focus button at stats? Okay, this is a good question, and it's a valid question. So when you're in design mode, these states, you have different hover, active, and focus. So hover is when you actually just bring your mouse over, you can give it a different color. Let's just, we now set up a hover color. You see, I clicked on hover, and now I just set up a background color. Okay, so my normal color of the button is bluish gray, but now when I hover over it, now it is red. So this is hover. Active is when you actually do something with the button. For example, I now hover over it, but if I click it, then it becomes green. Okay, and the focus, I still didn't play enough with this one, so I'm not quite sure what it does. uh, it just becomes orange, and I don't know what it actually does. um, Maybe while it is loading it is orange, but then once you clicked on it or it actually works, then it's green. So I'm not quite sure. I still need to actually get this. Only the focus I don't understand, and this I need to play with this one, but the rest I understand. So the active is when you click on it, but the focus is just an unknown for me at this point. There's so many things that I still don't know, that I still need to play with. But yes, let's just go through the questions. Tin, tin, tin. Okay, Dominic is saying, I have some crazy problems with GetResponse integration. I get emails from my subscriber, but autoresponder never sends the email. I contacted GetResponse support and they asked me to contact Groove. I get emails of my subscribers, but the autoresponder never sends the email. It is working now because I use GetResponse form, but it doesn't work when I use GroovePages form. Okay, so I'm not sure what this is. He's saying, I wonder why. For this one, Dominic, I would suggest you to contact support. They would be able to look into it for you. What you can try is try doing a custom form like this. Also try using these get response forms. Maybe this will be actually doing something differently. It shouldn't, but maybe it will. So test it out, and if not, contact the support team. They could look into this one for you. Bum, bum, bum. It would be nice that if there is a character count to help with a customer. Yeah, that would be good. This could be also a feature request. So head over to GroovePages and then character, product and name and character limit. So I don't think that this is for a form, but you can just put in the feature request for this one, Tina, if you want to have the character count, sorry, on inside the form fields. I'm waiting until GrooveMail to start building a list. What is the estimated time to wait at this point? Marvin, I'm not quite sure if you saw the announcement that we had. We had actually 2 on the same day, or 3 actually on the same day, and this was yesterday. We had one announcement from me, there was an announcement from Mike, and there was a full-on webinar on GrooveKart from Mike. So in all 3, we actually mentioned that there will be on Tuesday the 28th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there will be a webinar where Mike will actually show us. So this is coming this day, this day, this day, and also that same week we will have actually a lot of different things coming out. So next week is starting and full on launch, so you don't have to worry. Tomorrow, not tomorrow, next week, Tuesday, you will learn everything. So not next week theoretically, because this week is getting to the end. So Tuesday 28th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on, you need to register for the webinar. So find this announcement in the Facebook group and register for the webinar. This is how you will learn everything. Can we link the proof widget with our application form? If so, how? So the proof widget cannot be linked to the application form. The proof widget is inside GrooveSell. Once you actually sell something, or if somebody signs up or downloads your free product that you set up through GrooveSell, this is where you will be able to turn on the proof widget. At this point, through the forms, it is not possible. Maybe this could be a feature request later on to actually integrate GrooveMail with the proof widget. This would be something awesome. Thank you very much for the comment. I'm new in this, but I really want to begin affiliate program with this. I'm not quite sure who it is because I cannot see the name. So if I told you something useful, thank you very much for thanking me. For affiliate trainings, for affiliate programs, I have made separate videos on that, and you can learn a lot by searching through YouTube, or also the support desk. We have the help desk. When you search something, support.groovedigital.com, you can find a lot of different videos that I created. David has not gone into pop-up forms. Basically, the pop-ups are the same. Let's just say that I want to just save this one, recreate it inside the pop-up. Let me try to get. Come on. Here we go. So I just want to use this form container, pull it up here. I didn't do it correctly. So anyway, you can actually save the whole. It is not pulling over the right things. You can actually pull it over to a block. You save the block. You come over here to pop-ups, and you actually just pull in the saved design block. For example, let's just say that this is now my pop-up that I created, or not the pop-up, the form that I created. You can pull it inside here, and then it would work. I don't know why it doesn't work with this one, but in case you want to do it, you can just easily recreate everything. So you pull in an empty form container over here, and then inside you pull in the input fields. You put in the text area that you want, like that. You just need to make sure that they are inside the form container, like that. When you click on it, it needs to say form container. For example, like here on the input field. So you can design your forms the same way as on here. Yes, you would need to play with it a bit, and then it will work. So now we have this text area inside the form container. We can place in a button as well. Come on. Here we go. So now this one is over here. You can put a form container background color like that, or maybe this red so that it is visible. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, you can resize these, you can do everything the same as I showed you just on the pop-up itself. So you don't have to worry about the pop-ups are the same thing as when you are designing on here. Okay, so I answered this one. Oh, I think this is when I said my my wife is over here. Is there an option for a slideshow? There is a carousel element, but it is not working at this moment. This is being fixed. Where is it? I think it was removed. It was over here because it is being fixed, or it is maybe in the media. Here we go. So carousel element, this is actually available only with images. You can put in the number of slides. For example, I want 5. You put in the images that you want to show, and then it will be actually sliding over. However, at this point, it is not working when it is previewed or published, but this is being fixed. Thanks a lot. Can we add our own fonts? It is not an option at this point. I'm pretty sure this is coming soon because I've seen it in the feedback.groovefunnels.com. Google Fonts is one of the most upvoted things. I wanted to able to upload different fonts. This is also very high on the list. So you can just come over here, upvote it, and it will be done sooner than. Does GrooveKart integrate with Shipstation? I don't think so. This is not in the integrations tab. You can also head over to feedback.groovekart.com. Feedback.groovekart.com. I will give you the exact. I will actually send you the link in the comment of the where you posted in the Facebook group. I will send you exactly the feedback where you need to see. There is also a page like this one where we have the feature request for GrooveKart. Okay. Hi, David. I've been working along with you now. I'm getting an error message on my form. I'm working with ActiveCampaign, but I get an error message for the input fields. The form requires input names with name is email and name is name. So this is most probably because of these things. When you click on it, you need to actually set this up. So here and then here, it needs to be set up the correct details the ActiveCampaign is asking for, because otherwise it doesn't know what to do. So try to type in what I did here. So for the name field, let's just say that this is the name field. You type in here name, lowercase letters name, also in the input field update, and then the email, you just type in email small, all lowercase, email also lowercase, update, and then you should be good to go. Try it out. We'll see if it is working. If not, then we will work on that. Is Zapier integration working? Should I watch your latest video on it? Yes, it is working. If you head over to youtube.com, there is a video on Zapier and GroovePages. Zapier GroovePages, setting up Zapier to automate your forms and GroovePages. This is what you would need to watch, and this is everything what you would need to know about Zapier and integrating forms. When you will be live again, it is very helpful. I will be live on Monday. We will be working on a full build, so jump on that call or live stream on Monday. It is noon Eastern Standard Time or Central European Time. It is 6 p.m. for me. Every day I'm doing live streams. You can sign up for the calendar, the training calendar, which is groovefunnels.com/calendar. groovefunnels.com/calendar. You press enter and you can add it to your Google Calendar or to your iCal. So basically we have a calendar which you can import to your device, and then your phone will be just notifying you when there is a training live. So this is basically it. Okay, so Christine already linked it in there for you guys, so you can just click on it. But yes, groovefunnels.com/calendar. You can click on it and then add it to your own device for getting on to my trainings. But yeah, this is how to create a custom form inside GroovePages. I hope you learned something cool that you will use on your business. Please let me know if there are any questions later on, and I would be very happy to help you with those. I am finishing now this live stream, and hopefully see you on Monday on my live build. And also be sure to jump on that webinar on Tuesday. We will have some awesome content there, and I'm so excited to hear what is happening. I saw the calendar when we will be pushing out what, but Mike's presentations are just like bam. Every time I'm so pumped after it. So make sure you come over there. It will be awesome. Thank you very much, guys, and then see you on